Welcome to HouseLux Estate, your trusted source for lifestyle, health, and home management content. We're here to provide you with insights, tips, and tricks to help you live your best life. From the latest health trends to the most effective home management strategies, we've got you covered. We believe in empowering our viewers with knowledge and understanding, making the complexities of life a little easier to navigate. Today, we are debunking 10 myths about aging that you might have heard before. Myth number 1, aging equals declining health. Now, this is a common misconception that has been passed down through generations, but the reality, it's far from the truth. Science tells us that aging is not synonymous with declining health. Sure, there can be certain health challenges associated with getting older, but it doesn't mean good health is out of reach. Recent studies show a growing number of older individuals maintaining excellent health with consistent exercise, balanced diet, and regular medical checkups. They're not just surviving, but thriving, dispelling the myth that old age is a one-way ticket to poor health. In fact, some health aspects can even improve with age. As we grow older, we gain resilience, wisdom, and a better understanding of our bodies. We learn to make healthier choices, and often we have more time to focus on maintaining good health. So, aging doesn't necessarily mean declining health. Myth number 2, memory loss is inevitable as you age. Now, this is a common misconception that has been floating around for quite some time. The truth, however, is far more optimistic. While it's true that certain memory functions may decline with age, complete memory loss is not a standard part of the aging process. Studies have shown that healthy lifestyle choices can significantly aid in maintaining memory. For example, a balanced diet, regular physical activity, and mental exercises such as puzzles or learning a new language can all contribute to mental sharpness. Moreover, routine medical checkups can help identify any potential issues early on, allowing for timely intervention. In addition, it's important to note that memory loss can also be a symptom of treatable conditions like depression, vitamin deficiency, or thyroid issues. It's not always about aging. So let's set this straight. Aging does not mean you're destined to forget everything. Indeed, memory loss is not an inevitable part of aging. Let's move on to myths 3 and 4. The elderly can't learn new things and loneliness is a part of aging. The idea that the elderly can't learn new things is just not true. Neuroscience has proven that our brains are capable of learning and growing throughout our entire lives. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, allows us to create new neural connections and adapt to new situations no matter our age. So, whether it's learning to play the piano, picking up a new language, or mastering the art of baking sourdough bread, older individuals are just as capable of learning new things as their younger counterparts. In fact, studies have shown that older adults can gain significant benefits from learning new skills or knowledge. This cognitive stimulation can help to maintain mental sharpness, improve memory, and even delay the onset of dementia. So the next time you hear someone say, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks," remember that science begs to differ. Now, let's debunk the 4th myth. Loneliness is a part of aging. It's true that older individuals may experience periods of loneliness, especially if they live alone or have lost a spouse or close friends. However, this is not an inevitable part of aging. Many elderly people maintain active and fulfilling social lives. They engage in community activities, volunteer work, or even online social networks. Furthermore, research has shown that social connections are vital to our health and well-being at any age. They can reduce the risk of depression, heart disease, and even prolong life. Therefore, it's essential to foster these connections and support the elderly in maintaining their social lives, rather than accepting loneliness as a given. In conclusion, we should never underestimate the capacity of older individuals to learn and grow, nor should we assume that loneliness is an inherent part of their lives. The fact is, older individuals can learn new things, and aging doesn't automatically mean loneliness. Myths 5 and 6 are about productivity and creativity. Let's dive right into these misconceptions. Many believe that as we age, our productivity and creativity tend to dwindle. This, however, is far from the truth. First, let's tackle productivity. A common belief is that with age, we slow down and our output decreases. But studies have shown a different picture. Research indicates that while physical productivity might decline, mental productivity can actually increase. As we age, we accumulate knowledge and experience, which can lead to more efficient problem-solving and decision-making. Older individuals can leverage their wealth of experience to be highly productive in ways that are not purely physical. Now let's move on to creativity. The myth here is that creativity is the domain of the young. But again, reality tells a different story. Many famous artists, writers, and inventors have produced some of their best work in their later years. For instance, Frank Lloyd Wright, the renowned architect, designed his masterpiece, the Guggenheim Museum, when he was in his 80s. Similarly, Grandma Moses, an acclaimed American folk artist, didn't start painting until she was in her 70s, yet she created over 1,000 pieces of art. Creativity isn't bound by age. In fact, aging can enhance creativity. With life experience comes a deeper understanding of the world, which can fuel more profound and nuanced creative expression. Older individuals often have the patience, perspective, and perseverance to see creative projects through, qualities that can sometimes elude younger people. So let's debunk these myths once and for all. Age does not inherently lead to a decrease in productivity or creativity. On the contrary, the golden years can be a time of great mental productivity and creative flourishing. So, aging doesn't necessarily mean a decrease in productivity and creativity. Let's continue to celebrate the potential that each stage of life brings, and remember that age is just a number. It's our mindset and attitude that truly count. Now let's debunk myths 7 to 10. Myth 7. Older people can't adapt to change. This stereotype paints a picture of the elderly as rigid and stuck in their ways. However, research tells a different story. A study published in the Journal of Aging Studies found that older adults are just as capable of adapting to change as their younger counterparts. The difference lies in the type of change. Older adults tend to be more selective, focusing on changes that have a meaningful impact on their lives. Moving on to myth 8. Older people can't understand technology. This myth is rooted in the misconception that the digital world is a young person's realm. But let's not forget, many technological advances we take for granted today were developed by those who are now in their senior years. Moreover, a Pew Research Center report reveals that about 4 in 10 seniors now own smartphones, up from just 18% in 2013. So it's clear that older adults are not just understanding technology, they are embracing it. Next, myth 9. Older people lack sexual desire. This myth stems from the societal discomfort around the idea of seniors and sexuality. In reality, a study from the University of Manchester found that many older adults continue to have active, satisfying sex lives well into their 70s and 80s. Finally, myth 10. Older people are always grumpy. This stereotype portrays seniors as perpetually sour and discontented. However, research suggests the opposite. A study published in the Journal of Personality shows that as people age, they experience fewer negative emotions and report higher levels of life satisfaction. In essence, aging is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It varies greatly from person to person. The ability to adapt to change, understand technology, maintain sexual desire, or stay in a good mood is not solely dependent on age, but rather on a multitude of factors including personality, lifestyle, and overall health. Clearly, these myths about aging are not based on truth. Let's recap the myths we've debunked today. First, we squashed the misconception that aging equals declining health. We learned that living a healthy lifestyle can keep us vibrant no matter our age. We then tackled the myth that memory loss is inevitable, reminding ourselves that mental agility can be maintained with regular brain exercises and a good diet. Our third and fourth myths, that the elderly can't learn new things and that loneliness is a part of aging, were also debunked. We found that our capacity for learning remains robust and social connections can be cultivated at any age. The fifth and sixth myths, suggesting a decrease in productivity and creativity with age, were proven false. We showed that age can bring wisdom and experience that enhance these qualities. Lastly, we busted the myths that older people can't adapt to change, don't understand technology, lack sexual desire, and are always grumpy. Thank you for joining us on HouseLux Estate for this enlightening discussion on aging. Remember to subscribe for more content just like this. Until next time, stay healthy and informed.